Hello everyone and welcome back to Jessie Kate Creates. I'm Jessica, and before we get into making today's card, I just wanted to take a quick second to come on camera and say welcome and thank you. I know a lot of you have recently found my channel, and I've gotten a bunch of new subscribers recently, which is awesome to see. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's taken the time to watch a video, to like, or to comment, or even to share with your family and friends. And welcome to everyone who has subscribed. It's so awesome to have you guys here. I also wanted to take a second to say thank you for your patience. I know I'm still new to YouTube and I'm still learning how to record and film and edit videos, and because of that, my uploading isn't super consistent yet. I'm hoping that changes soon as I learn more. I have a few videos kind of in the works right now, so hopefully those will be coming soon. So again, welcome everyone. Thank you so much. It's awesome to have you here. So with all of that said, why don't we get into showing you how I made this lily themed card. To begin this card, I am using an SVG cut file from the Ton. This is the Lily Trio Layering Cover Plates. And when you put all of these layers together, you get a beautiful grouping of some lily flowers. This cut file ends up being A2 size, so 4¼ by 5½ as you can see here, and the frame around the flowers is 1/4 inch. Now, just as it is, I think this is beautiful. You could easily add a sentiment and be done with a gorgeous card, but I wanted to add some detail to each of the layers. So to do that, I am using some alcohol markers. Now, a couple of years ago, I picked up some alcohol markers from Tuesday Morning. They're nothing fancy. I haven't been able to find them in craft stores or online, and they don't make refills. But it was a really good way for me to see if I like using alcohol markers. So I've just picked a couple colors, and I'm starting with this. It's called Rose, but it's really just like a beigey off-white color, and I'm using that for the outline of the petals. You could leave them white, but I thought that looked a little bit stark, so I wanted to give it a little bit of color without taking away. Now, I made this card in a few different colors, and I wanted to use the beige because I thought that would go with any color of flower that I ended up doing. Today I did yellow flowers, which you'll see soon, but there we go. That's what it looks like when all of the outline is done. And now I can move on to the next little portion of this layer. I'm going to do the branches for the berries. I'm just using a brown color and trying to be careful not to color inside the berry, just on the branch itself. So that's pretty simple. Then I'm going to color in the top bit of the lily stamen. I'm just using a dark brown for this and going over it. I did try to add a little bit of detail at the top, but honestly, once it dries, I don't even really think you could tell, so you could always skip that bit of detail. For the berries, I'm using that same beige color and coloring those in, and again, I tried to go around the edges of the berries so they looked rounded, but once it dries, I don't really know if you can tell, so you might be able to skip that step. Now I'm just taking the same brown I used for the branch and putting a little dot so they look more like berries. Next, we're going to do the long part of the stamen. I don't know what that's called. If there are any gardeners or flower folks, you can let me know what those are called. I'm just using my lightest green. This is YG25 to color in that long bit of the stamen. I'm not doing any fancy coloring or shading here. Now for the leaves, I did slow this down a little bit. For the leaves, I'm coloring everything in that lightest marker, YG25, and then I'm going in with my mid-tone, YG17, and I'm coloring the stem and just kind of flicking up halfway. Then I'm going to my darkest marker, G07, and I'm coloring the stem and then just kind of flicking up through the middle of the leaf to give it a vein. And I thought that was some pretty simple coloring, but it added some nice detail. Oh, and then I guess I'm going over everything with that lightest YG25 just to blend it, I guess. So there we go. And I'm going to do that with all of the leaves, keeping it nice and simple. Now, like I said, I just use whatever alcohol markers I happen to have on hand. What I've been doing is I bought that large set of markers from Tuesday Morning, and once I run out of a color, that's when I'll decide to buy a Copic version of it, because it means I've used the color enough that to me it's worth it to invest in a Copic. Okay, so now on to the flower buds. When I looked up photos of flower buds, I noticed that sometimes you can see the color of the leaf popping through. So for the top half of the bud, I use the same color that I used to outline the petals. And now for the bottoms, I am starting with my darkest color, YG07. And then I'm moving on to my mid-tone color and just bringing that up a little bit higher. And then I'm going to my lightest color and just kind of flicking that up into the beigey area of the bud. Now I'm going to take my flower bud color and I'm going to go over that light green just to try and kind of blend it. And I decided I wanted the stems to be a little darker so they really popped out more. So I'm just going back over everything in the same order. I'm using the darkest color, then my mid-tone, and then bringing in that light green and just kind of flicking it up. And I thought that looked nice. So that's gonna be all of the coloring for the top layer of this cover plate file. And that's what it looks like. Now, if you wanted to stop here, you totally could. So I'm just showing you what it looks like with just the top layer done. It adds a lot of detail, and that would be gorgeous on a card all by itself. But I really wanted to add detail to each of the layers. So now I'm taking the other 3 layers and I'm going to start with the very bottom layer. And you can see it's just the very tip of that layer that is showing. So I don't need to cover the entire piece. I just really need to cover those tips. Now for this, I'm just going to take a dark yellow marker and just do some kind of upward flicking motions. My coloring is not perfect by any means. I'm still definitely a beginner when it comes to using alcohol markers. There might be better ways to do this, but this is what I was able to do and what worked well for me. This was also a good chance for me to just practice using those kind of flicking motions that you hear so many alcohol marker folks talk about. So I'm just flicking that marker upward to give me some little lines to add a little bit of detail. And I'm going to speed up this coloring so that you're not watching me forever. In total, I did 2 cards and it took me a little over 2 hours. The coloring wasn't difficult, but it was time consuming. So I just threw on some music that I liked and did my coloring. And now you'll see that I bring in the layer above it as a reference because in some areas I'm not really sure what direction the petal is going. And so I'm using that as a guide to make sure I'm making those marks in the correct areas and in the correct direction. There we go, just filling in a few more areas. Okay, so now I can move on to the next layer. So I'm bringing in the layer above it. Oh, I guess first I'm showing you what it looks like so far. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to that next kind of the mid yellow. And again, you'll see it's just the tips that show, it's not the middle. So I have grabbed a lighter yellow marker. And I'm just doing those kind of flicking motions upward. Just doing my best. Like I said, this is pretty simple coloring and a good chance to practice. And again, I will speed this up so you don't have to watch me spend hours coloring. But one thing I will say, one thing that was nice about this project, years ago I was gifted a Cricut, and I don't really use it that often because it kind of intimidates me. Cutting paper with it has been kind of hit or miss for me. But this year I decided I really wanted to start using it more. It's a craft supply I own that I don't use, and I'm really trying to use more of my craft supplies. So I've really been playing around with it and some of the settings, and I think I found settings that I like for my machine. And so that has been really fun to kind of see what I can do. And it was nice to be able to use this file in my project by using my Cricut. I'll also say it saved me some money. You can buy these cover plates from the ton as steel dies. And they have a little bit more detail, but they cost $65. So to buy the cut file for $9, that was a no-brainer, for me at least. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the lightest yellow layer. This one, I had to be a little bit more careful when I was coloring. As you can see, a lot of this layer shows through. So I'm just taking a pen and putting a dot behind the portions of this layer that aren't gonna show. And that's so I know where to start my marker lines so that they don't show. Does that make sense? I want to cover up the start of each of those little marker flicks that I do. So here you'll see I'm using the top layer as a guide. I'm starting where that marker is, and I'm just flicking down from there. I'm just kind of making sure that that top layer covers everything I want it to cover. So I bring in the top layer a lot here to make sure my lines look right. Again, it's not super hard, but it is a little bit time consuming to get it to look the way I wanted it to. But I think it was totally worth it. Okay. I also think this is kind of a good project if you're just kind of getting into alcohol markers, because it's not really a lot about blending here. It's just learning to do that little flicking motion. At least that's why I liked it. Okay, so now with that layer done, I have all of my layers completed. Oh, I'm showing you what that top layer looks like. And now that's what they look like all together. Beautiful. So now that all those layers are done, I did decide I wanted to add just a little bit more detail. When I looked up photos of lilies, I noticed that some of them had these little dots that went all up the petals, and I thought those were really pretty, and I wanted to add them here. So I'm just taking a brown marker. I believe this is the same one I used for the branches, and I'm just adding some dots all over the petals. And I thought that added some very pretty detail to these lilies. Now, I don't know if every lily is like that or if it's just certain types of lilies. But one of the great things about crafting is that anything can exist in your crafty little world. So in my world, lilies all have these little dots on them. And I thought it was just a nice little touch. Now, like I said, I was making 2 cards on this day, and the other card I made, I used yellow for the dots. I used a light yellow, the same one I used for the top 2 layers of the lilies. And so you'll see that a little bit at the end, but both are very pretty either way you decide to do it. So at the beginning of this video, I forgot to show you guys, this SVG file does cut out little backings to put behind those leaves at the bottom. I did color them in the same way I colored all of the other leaves, and I'm just going to attach them with a little bit of art glitter glue. I like the precision tip on this bottle so I can get little tiny dabs of glue behind those narrow lines. And I actually use that wet glue to adhere all of the layers together. Now I accidentally did that off camera, so I just skipped over that part in the video. But here you'll see all the layers have been glued together, and I just used an acrylic block over the top. The wet glue is nice because it gave me time to wiggle everything just right into place. So while that dries, I'm going to move on to some of the other elements of this card. I'm going to start by making the frame of the card. So I have a piece of glitter cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it's A2 sized, and I know the frame of the cover plate is 1/4 inch. So I've put this in my trimmer at 1/4 inch. I sunk the blade in the middle of the paper, and I'm going to move it up till it's 1/4 of an inch away from the top and down until it's 1/4 of an inch away from the bottom. And I'm just using the measurements there on the side of my trimmer to make sure I have it lined up right. That's why I like using this Fiskars trimmer for things like this, so I can get those exact measurements. So again, I've lined it up at 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to go up to the top until it meets that top cut line, and it's 1/4 of an inch away from the top, and then down to the bottom until it's 1/4 of an inch away from the bottom. And I'm just going to keep doing that all the way around on the other two sides. So I'll move it over to 1/4 of an inch, just making sure to keep everything lined up. I'll sink the blade and then move it until it's 1/4 of an inch away from the top and 1/4 of an inch away from the bottom. Now, something I forgot to tell you before is for all the various layers of the lily, I just used whatever yellow cardstock I had in my stash. So it's from different companies and different brands. I just wanted 3 shades of yellow that I thought worked well together. So use whatever you have in your stash if you decide to make this card. Or who knows, maybe you could even make like a rainbow lily. That might be cool too. Okay, so I noticed there were a couple places where I didn't quite get everything lined up and I didn't cut all the way. So I'm just using a craft knife to fix that really quick. And then this frame will pop right out. Here we go. Beautiful. And I'll just set that scrap to the side and use it for another project in the future. So you can see it just lines up perfectly over the top and it covers up anything that we colored outside of the lines. Now, I did these cards as Mother's Day cards, but you could do them however you want. So I'm using the Ton Penned Sentiments. I get a lot of use out of the stamp set. And I'm using some copper embossing powder. I embossed that onto vellum because I didn't want to cover up all of the coloring that I did on those lilies. So now I'm just making sure I like how I want to place my sentiment. I kind of just want it coming in from the side. And this way I can adhere that vellum behind the frame. And I will put little dots of glue behind the vellum, just 2 or 3 to help hold it in place. I think that looks pretty good, but I did want to see what this would look like with a different color frame. So I tried gold foil cardstock. I think that's really pretty too. It just wasn't quite exactly the look that I was going for with this card. I also decided to try a kind of a rose gold coppery frame. Again, very pretty, but just not the look I was going for. So in the end, I settled for the white glitter frame, which it's hard to tell how beautiful it is on camera, but in person it's really pretty. Now, I will apologize here. I did not have my camera on when I did this. So I put the card together. I used a pearlized paper for the background and I glued everything down to a pink card base. And here, this is one of the lilies I did with the light yellow ink for all the dots on the petal. So a very pretty card. I'm happy with how it turned out. I did this card in a couple other colors and I'll include photos of that so you can see. Oh, and then in the inside, I just put a piece of white paper so I can write a message there. So I was really happy with how this turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.